Hello Primary 7. So today's little announcement is just a little bit of help for those that are taking on the mathematical challenge set by Aberdeen University. Now I have deliberately waited 1 week before giving out this feedback because like we've done in school for those that have taken it on, I've usually let you have a go at it first before trying to give you some prompts to hopefully develop your thinking a little bit further. So I'm going to try and do that through this video today. Now I must stress, when I was looking at this problems that we got for round 3, I did find it quite challenging myself, in particular 3.1. It took me quite a few attempts to get to the right answer. And I tell you this because I think it's important that you know that it's not just a straightforward case of turning up to these problems and knowing how to do them straight away. That's not the challenge. The challenge is to experiment with different ideas and different ways to do it to finally get to what we perceive to be the correct answer. I say that again because whilst I have answers, at this point I've absolutely no idea if it's right, but given the basis I've put on with my mathematical thinking, I'm very confident that it is. So looking at question 1, the one with the football packs, the hints that I would give you for it is that I think the natural thing to do is to try and share out the packs evenly. As in, one person gets a gold, and then the next person gets a gold, and the next person gets a gold, and so on and so forth. And you've probably done that and realised that that doesn't work, because there is 7 packs that each player is going to get, or each person's going to get. So therefore we can't distribute them equally amongst them to therefore then get the criteria of an equal amount of gold and silver players. So what I recommend doing is not trying to make it equal. Now I laid mine out in a kind of grid format, and I put Gavin, Alan and Jack as some headings, and then I put how many gold and silver they were getting each time I gave them a pack. Another really good way of doing this, which I didn't do, but I would probably support you at school to do, is to make the physical packs of it. So therefore, just take a scrap piece of paper and put gold on it, just the letter G. Another scrap piece of paper for silver, and the other ones for mixed, and you could maybe split them into smaller pieces, because for the mix there's 3 gold in it and 3 silver. And playing about with this, we can eventually find out how you can get an even distribution of gold and silver amongst the 3 different players. I will give further hints and tips on this as we progress, but ideally we're trying to get the answers at the earliest point using your own mathematical thinking instead of just waiting for more of my hints and tips. Question 2, this is the one I'm not entirely sure if I've got all of them. That's the kind of the point of these questions. I think the point that they're looking at there is when we look at squares, we usually look at them in a traditional format, as in one piece being flat on the floor and then the other 3 sides making up the rest of the square. But of course we could spin a square to the left or the right so that it's sitting on one of its corners, and that's worth considering when looking at the squares in here. Please make sure that it is a square and not a rectangle you're creating. All those dots are equally spaced, even diagonally though. And then question 3, the product of the digits is 318. Of 318 is 24. First of all, we need to recap that the word product means when we multiply them. So you can use a calculator for this, there's no reason not to. But basically the way I approached this was I looked at other numbers that in the times tables, as in from 1 to 10, that when you times 2 numbers together that make 12. Now they've got 3 and 8 there they don't make 12. I'll come to that in a minute. You make 2 numbers that multiply to make 24. So they've used 3 times 8 there, because 3 times 8 makes 24. So when you times it by 1, it's still 24. So I looked to see if there was any other numbers that when you times together make 24, and then added a 1 as my 3rd digit. After I'd found all of them, I looked at what two numbers multiply together to make 12. And then I added in a 2 as my extra digit, because when I get 12, if I times it by 2, then I will get 24. And I carried on that similar patterns until I had exhausted all the numbers that I could. That's it for the first round of hints and tips. Please keep giving these a go. For those that are interested, involve parents and carers as well if you wish, and let me know how you're getting on. Thanks very much.